Good evening, I'm Duke Root, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska soccer seniors Kayma Carpenter, Ella Guyett, and Ella Rudney were recognized as Big Ten players to watch today. Carpenter is coming off a 2026 campaign where she tied for the team lead with 15 points and 6 goals. Rudney also had 15 points and 6 goals for the Big Red last season, along with 3 assists. Guyett was injured and didn't play in 2025, but was a constant presence in 2024. Nebraska quarterback Anthony Calandria received recognition Monday morning as he was named to the preseason watch list for the Maxwell Award. Calandria, who transferred to Nebraska for the 2026 season, was the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Year at UNLV last season. He guided a UNLV offense that ranked 18th nationally in scoring and 20th in total offense in 2025. The Big Ten Network announced its 2026 volleyball TV schedule on Monday. 10 of Nebraska's 20 Big Ten Conference matches will be nationally televised, along with at least 5 non-conference matches. Additional matches selected for TV, including those on Nebraska Public Media, will be announced at a later date. Any home matches and Big Ten road matches not selected for television will be available on Big Ten Plus. The MLB trade deadline occurred today. Some notable moves include Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal traded from the Tigers to the Dodgers. All-star Luis Arias traded from the Giants to the Phillies. Adley Rutschman goes to the Red Sox from the Orioles. Nationals Foster Griffin traded to the Guardians. And the Padres acquiring Casey Mize from the Tigers. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth System, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Coming up next is hour 1 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, helping homeowners and businesses protect what matters most for over 45 years.
Infield and outfield straight up. Plumlee comes set on course at 2-1. Fastball is drilled in the air. Deep left field. There it goes. See ya! First career home run for Jeter Worthley. Comes in a massive moment. It's 2-0 Big Red.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter. Gets it back. Swings. Big block. Harper Murray. 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set.
8 gets switched on. Deep left side. Weaver. 3 seconds to shoot. Deep left side. 1 on the shot clock. Hargroves. 3. You betcha. A buzzer-beating Central Valley 8-3 by Amaya Hargrove.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy fall camp week. Kyle is a happy camper.
I love fall camp week. Big fan.
Yes.
So, but still 48 hours, though, until fall camp kicks off. The guys report tomorrow.
Yes.
I think they're in the dorms for about a week, and they're able to leave the dorms. But I can imagine everyone around Lincoln, the entire state of Nebraska, is fired up to have football officially back, because this means that practice, a month later, you get to actual games, and away we go.
And a few of the players will be made available tomorrow. I know we heard from several of them over the last couple of weeks. We had internal media day, but a couple other guys going to be talking tomorrow to the local media. We'll try to get out there, bring you a few of those conversations as well. We have Husker volleyball taking a part in Big Ten Media Days. That's going on. It's been all day today, and man, not surprising, but just fantastic representation from Bergen Riley and Andy Jackson. We're going to hear from Danny Busboom Kelly a little bit from that here coming up in hour number 2. Corey Campbell coming up here in just a few minutes. So Kyle had a chance to kind of preview all the things going on in the weight room. Just an important time for Corey and his staff before they take the field for the first practice of fall camp. So that coming up here in just a few minutes in hour number 1 as well. Plus our final installment of the Sharpies, our first annual Sharpie Awards. We'll introduce the last category coming up for you in hour number 2 as well. So also, by the way, Duke is back. You heard him in the ticker. And happy Interns Day to Duke, because he didn't get that happy Interns Day.
No. What was it, Maddie Mills last week?
Yeah, just to himself.
Who individually
Chris,
was. Have you met Maddie Mills? Do you know him? Are you in? Yeah, he thinks he's met him. So eventually those two will meet. But It was happy
National Interns Day.
Thank you, Interns Day. And only a few interns in here to celebrate, but Duke was left out. So we actually gifted cars to the interns that were here that day. So Duke, sorry you missed out.
Sorry.
Yeah. There were Ferraris.
But anyway, so we'll have lots to get to here over the next couple of hours. Really quickly, though, we're waiting to see if the Protect College Sports Act is going to be able to go into effect and be voted on this week. That's still it was a last minute. When we signed off on Thursday, didn't look like it was going to be able to come to fruition. Some last minute scrambling on Friday night over the weekend, and Big Ten, SEC end up signing off on the Protect College Sports Act. Now it's got to get through the Senate and voted on and all of that. And apparently it's got to be, I guess, put up tonight on the schedule.
Sometime
I don't know all the verbiage.
by this week.
But it's got to be, I think, going through the passage starting tonight, I think, according to, I'm not a political expert by any means, but they're hoping that they can still get it through this week. If not, it will be tabled until September.
It was an issue, obviously, because it's election year and the Senate floor is going to be really busy. So that's why it was important to reach the original deadlines to get this passed, to have the SEC, to have the Big Ten agree upon this, to join the other two Power 4 leagues, to move forward with this bill, to get the correct amendments within the bill. The SEC and the Big Ten having to make some concessions, but still, getting it to a point that the two behemoths and the two big leagues agree that this is how we want to move forward. And this was on the heels of, I think, the same day that the SEC and the Big Ten came out with their joint statement was the same day that we saw this injunction in Colorado about the 2022 class. But I don't think that's something that will come to pass. I think it'll get shot down eventually. And there's other caveats to that as well. But if you just see the chaos in college sports and how necessary this bill is for in a point in time in our country's history that's as divided as it is, to get Democrats and Republicans to agree on something and to vote on something to push it through, or at least to get this on the Senate floor as quickly as they did, it just shows that we're at a point almost of no return, and we have to find a way to stabilize college athletics, and this is certainly a really good starting point. I did not expect this to get as far as it has.
I didn't either.
As quickly as it has.
I didn't either, especially last week when they still couldn't. They kept giving them deadlines, the SEC and the Big Ten, and they weren't meeting those deadlines, and then needed to work out a few of the portions of the act that they were pretty dead set on, and ended up being able to work through it and get to a point where they could sign off on it. But there's certainly some things in there that would improve the situation in terms of a lot of the lawsuits, the eligibility rules, the transfer rules, the cap rules. I know it's going to extend the cap to $48.8 million.
That's an interesting conversation in itself.
Which is crazy, just to be able to retain rosters in addition to bring in new players, the $5 million to women's sports. The Lane Kiffin rule, quote unquote, which prohibits a coach leaving a team before a season ends. That's going to be fascinating, because how many times have we seen that? At least just the start of this conversation.
It doesn't happen anywhere else.
It's going to be lots of things that need to be implemented. Just the fact of the matter is, will it get done before September?
Back to a one-time transfer rule, unless there's a coach that gets fired, and then you have the opportunity to open up another transfer. So if you're going to transfer under this proposed bill, you better want to go to a place that you think it's where you're going to want to spend the rest of your collegiate career. A cap on conference numbers for membership at 19, which we've talked about before. Of course, the Big Ten is at 18. The SEC is at 16. There's a little bit more wiggle room to add for the SEC. I don't necessarily know what the appetite is for them. I'm sure there's some appetite to expand. For the Big Ten, I think this would be a cool exercise, and I've seen it done on Twitter too, about what would your new conferences look like. Say, 'cause the Big Ten can only add one, the SEC can only add three. If you're the SEC, what are those three teams? For the Big Ten, I think there's a consensus that Notre Dame would be that one, but there's a good chance that they wouldn't want to go to a conference. So who would that other school be that you would add to the Big Ten? If you're the Big 12 or the ACC, who would you add to your conference to get to that cap of 19? So there's I guess some cool exercises that you could run off of it.
I feel like one of the biggest complaints from fans is that you hear a lot is just the transfer rule, which, again, this would address that and limit that transfer exception. And it gives the NCAA and the member schools protection from all of these lawsuits that we continue to see, that the athletes and they are winning pretty much every time. So this will allow for hopefully some of that to get under control, where you're not just going to court every time you don't like a ruling.
It gives the NCAA some of their teeth back, too. Because every time they would try to rule on something, there'd be a temporary restraining order or an injunction in a local court somewhere, and then voila. And you could probably say the turning point in all of this, before the bill really became something that was tangible, was the Brendan Sorsby situation.
Right.
We spent every day, almost for a couple weeks, talking about how ridiculous it was that he eventually was going to play. And we got to the point where, like, okay, we're going to sit back and watch him play in a Texas Tech uniform after that small suspension that he would have had to serve. And you can't believe this is the case. And it opens the door for other athletes to gamble and still have eligibility. And we finally hit a breaking point with Brendan Sorsby. If there was any positive that came out of that whole soap opera, it was that we sat back and we finally said enough's enough. And this bill, I think, has gotten us, college sports have gotten to a point where we've needed government intervention to step in and say we have to find a path forward where it's not just the SEC and the Big Ten, but all these schools can survive. And just think, if you're a head coach through the last 5 or so years, probably dates back even more than that, but just think of how much you've gone through. Even the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, when you're a head coach and you see the temporary injunction without all of the facts behind it about the 2022 class and what this means for you. And it's just your head continues to spin on a daily basis, because the rules that you see one week are not the rules that you see another week. It is impossible to be a head coach or a conference commissioner in today's climate.
So hopefully, again, we're getting a step closer of getting some of that put in place to, I guess, rein it back in a little bit. We will see. We'll continue to follow it. But I do know that things have to move quickly here over the next 24, 48 hours for it to be able to pass through the Senate here by the end of this week before they go on.
I mean, could this be done before the start of football season? I mean, that's the timeline that you're almost working with.
I saw something has to go into whatever tonight to have a 30 to 40% chance to be able to be passed. Because one person could hang this up if they don't vote on it, right?
Yeah, it's got to go through the Senate and the House.
So,
and
we'll see.
The thing is that you finally have some sort of unity.
Yes.
Which we've not had.
I would think that if it, doesn't go through this week, that hopefully by September there's something in effect.
Yeah, but we've gotten to that point, right, where this is, and it's not going to be perfect. Yeah. And how long until we push back with what is in this, some of the things that are in this bill?
2 weeks. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, all right. Got to get to a break. Coming up next, Corey Campbell. Kyle had a chance to chat with him going into fall camp. Just a really important summer for his group. So catching up on all the things that they were able to get accomplished here over the summer, OTAs, all of that good stuff. That's coming up next year on Sports Nightly. 402-413-2400 is that number if you want to be a part of the show tonight on our text line. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between 2 mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
Anna, what says summer to you?
Sunshine, road trips, camping.
And?
Ford being #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands according to J.D. Power.
And?
And low APR offers with Ford credit financing on a select lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs.
My kind of summer.
For APR offer information, visit Ford.com or your local Ford dealer. For J.D. Power 2026 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2026 model year.
Nebraska. We're connected by more than fiber. We're connected by traditions, by hometown pride, by the sea of red on game day, by generations of fans who know what it means to cheer together. Allo is proud to be the connection behind those moments, bringing families together, keeping communities close, and helping Nebraskans stay connected to what truly matters. Allo Fiber, connecting what matters. Proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
At Woodhouse Hyundai, triple your down payment in a new 2026 Hyundai Elantra SEL Sport. Lease yours for just $178 per month. Put $2,000 down and we'll add another $4,000 on us. Plus, rest assured with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit WoodhouseHyundai.com or WoodhousePlaceHyundai.com today. 24 months, 7,500 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, license extra. First payment, $299 doc fee and $650 acquisition fee due at signing. Stock number H260962. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Nebraska football fans know what it takes to be the best. You've got to handle the heat, power through the cold, read the pressure. Same goes for the techs at John Henry's. They're trusted to perform when it's all on the line. When winter's driving hard and your furnace fumbles. When your thermostat is in the red zone. When the power goes out before the final whistle. Make the easy call.
Call 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back here on Sports Nightly, Kyle Crooks now joined by a very special guest here in studio, head football strength and conditioning coach Corey Campbell joins us here for a summer check-in before fall camp begins. But summer workouts just concluding, and that's when your staff gets a really good opportunity to get your hands on the guys and really build some mental and physical toughness. But Corey, first things first, busy summer for you guys. How you been?
Been doing well, and it has been, but it's been a rewarding summer. The guys, they worked their tails off. You know, it since being back in January, just putting our head to the grindstone and attacking every single day as it comes and not looking too far ahead. So making the most of every opportunity that they had to come in and train and perfect their craft. So it's been a really good summer.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm pleased with where the guys ended up.
Yeah, and Corey, we were talking before we went live, but it's interesting because you had such a longer extended period, right, before fall camp starts because, you know, the spring game was early, spring was early. So you get into your off-season mode, post-spring mode pretty early. How unique was that for you guys?
It was unique, but I think it was very beneficial just to have the amount of training time that we did have, you know, a little bit unorthodox of a structure in starting spring ball when we did start it. But as we planned it, you know, that was a huge part of the reason why. Just more time under the barbell, more time training, especially with this group. You know, the team looks a lot different than it did a year ago. A lot of new faces, a lot of new contributors. And, the football it's going to be addressed, but we also understood the time that we need to put into training. You know, we switched up the way that we approached it from the winter and into the summer. And you know, like I said, I'm proud with where the guys ended up. You really see the difference in having that additional amount of training time that we did have post spring ball and then leading in the summer.
You know, Corey, I know each offseason you guys go in with a plan or try to alter the plan, understand what worked, what didn't work from a previous season. I know how detailed you are. I know how detailed Coach Rule, the entire staff is. So when you go and try to make those tweaks and changes, what does that look like for you guys as a staff?
Yeah, we're always in the constant pursuit of better. You know, if something worked for us a year ago, well, we want to assess it and figure out, hey, how can we improve this? And so at the end of the season, prior to winter training, Coach Rule and I sat down and we really talked about how the team finished up. And ultimately, you know, it wasn't the way that we wanted that team to be. And as much as it was training the physical, we also came to an agreement that we needed to do a better job of training them mentally, right, to finish the season the right way, right? It's easy to start well. You know, it's hard when you get down those stretches in October, November, December, and going into January to finish on an even better note. So that was something Coach Rule and I went over, and a lot of what we did tweak in our off-season training program was really to attack essentially that grit component, you know, that passion versus perseverance over time.
How do you think the guys have adjusted to that? Maybe the guys that are coming back that are understanding the differences, or the newcomers that come in and understand, okay, this is what it's going to take. It's how do you think the guys, because one thing to implement a plan, how have the players adjusted to the plan?
I think they adjusted to it really well. At the end of the day, we're all in this program together, coaches, staff, players alike, and no one liked how we finished up last year. And for those guys returning, and even those guys that took a chance on us and joined our program during that time, you know, we as a program owed it to those players and to everybody else to be better. And so they embraced it. You know, it was, hey, this is why we're making these changes. You guys, you live through it, so you understand why those changes need to be made. And again, you know, they put their head down to the grindstone and showed up every day to work.
Chatting with Corey Campbell, the leader of the strength and conditioning efforts here for Husker football. What's the routine like? I mean, I've seen you guys run gassers. I know what fall camp looks like, but we don't necessarily get the same access during summer workouts. So what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, so this summer, broken into two phases, right? June and July. During June is when we have our OTAs, so a lot more involvement with the coaches in terms of what we're doing from a football standpoint. So during that month, we took more of a 3-day split approach to our training. So we would lift the guys on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A little bit more of an auxiliary type lift, more emphasis on some more specialized things on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But that's when we get the multitude of our sprint work and our running done, and then we come back in the afternoons on those days and do football. So it had somewhat of a camp feel to it. You know, the guys were going every day, and in some ways, 2-a-days, like on those Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then when we switched into the phase in July, we went back more to a 4-day training split because the coaches aren't in, the OTA time is down, and it turns into more of a player-ran practice. And so went back to 4 days training in the weight room, but also increased our running volume as we're approaching camp. So during that time, it was good to get the guys out in the afternoon in the heat and Memorial, running those half gassers, as you mentioned. And, you know, on the back half of that, the players would then run the player-ran practices amongst themselves. And so, you know, again, same thing, right? Just understanding the dynamic of, hey, when certain things pick up, you know, certain things, the volume of certain things, you know, it has to be adjusted to account for that. And so I thought we did a really good job as a coaching staff, in planning that out, on the performance side, on the football side, and then setting these guys up, one, to understand what it is, hey, it takes the time. You gain confidence from the work that you put in, and when you understand that you put in more work, than your opponent, that is when you can have the confidence that you'll go out on the field and really put yourself in position to be successful.
The routine in fall camp, I would imagine it's a delicate balance. These guys are going after it for 2 hours and in some cases padded practices. How do you have that delicate balance of, hey, you still need to make these guys tougher from a strength and conditioning standpoint, but they're also practicing in the heat and going through full individual and team periods? Is that a hard, delicate balance to make sure these guys aren't getting maybe overworked in fall camp?
I feel like it takes what it takes. And you think about load monitoring, and you think about, watching these players' workloads, and at times the guys can do more. These guys are a resilient bunch, and that's, again, why we approached summer training the way that we approached it, because you mentioned the 2-hour practices, right? You're out in the heat. Well, these guys are accustomed to that.
Sure.
We put them through lengthy sessions, right, in the weight room and on the field. We put them out in the heat, right? We essentially take them through that acclimation period prior to getting into August and in the training camp. So when they do get there, they're prepared and they're capable to engage in the work that the coach is playing out for them. But ultimately, yes, it is a balance, right? And we as a coaching staff have to do a really good job of understanding how much we need to push them. And then when it is time to, okay, you put that work in the way in which the standard is here. And there are going to be times when, you've earned the right to have a break. Mm-hmm. But camp's a grind, right? And it's supposed to be a grind. That is how we identify who's going to be willing to embrace the grind of a season that gets into October, November, December, January, right? And those are the guys that we want to go to war with. So camp is a part of it. It's almost like a rite of passage. It takes what it takes.
Yeah. And when I think of relationships now, your staff is just as important as any in building relationships. You're around these guys a lot. You see them at the moments that can be tough, whether they're injured and they're not able to practice. It's your staff who's working with them to make sure that they continue to be in shape. But for you, building relationships, and how much that has changed with college athletics, it's transactional or what have you, but building a brotherhood, a bond, that starts in your area, in the weight room and all of that, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think you create a really strong bond. I think you create a brotherhood that can endure adversity when you go through struggle together. And that's what we do in the weight room, mm-hmm. right? A lot of what we did in this offseason, we took more of a high-intensity approach in some of the things that we did. We're putting guys in situations where they have to train through the threshold of failure. And it's always good to have a guy to your right, to your left, behind you that pushes you through that. When you get to that point where it's mentally you may feel like you can't go any longer, and then you got a guy in your ear telling you that you can do it. You can look to your right and to your left, and you see the teammates in that weight room that you're doing those things for, and it helps, gives you an extra little bit of a gear to push through that. So definitely, man, the strength of the brotherhood, I do think is formed in that weight room, and honestly, in everything that we do throughout our program, right? The guys, they train together, they eat together, they hang out together, and so this is a place where any athlete that is a part of it, that comes into the brotherhood, they're going to understand that it's a standard that has to be upheld. But if you're willing to uphold that standard, hold yourself accountable to it, hold each other accountable to it, you'll fit right in the brotherhood here at Nebraska.
Corey, when I look at this roster and I see how massive certain elements are, it's a Big Ten roster. But the offensive line, as a collective group, is just it's a group of massive human beings. How fun of a
from a strength and conditioning standpoint is it to work with guys like that and continue to convey what it's going to take here in the Big Ten and the expectations for those guys?
Oh, it's been great. Those big guys up front, offensive and defensive lines, right? I tell those guys, I put them at the front of everything. They're at the front of the weight room. When you walk through those doors, those are the first racks you get to, the racks where the big guys are training. When we do warm-ups at times, I'll put them in the front. When we run our half-gassers, they're the first group to run. Why? Because it's like they're the front line of offense or defense, right? That's going to be the first thing that people on the opposing sideline come in contact with, and I want to get that into their heads. I want that to be a mindset that they have. Like, you have to see us first, and it's been great. Those guys up front on both sides of the ball. And I know we're talking about the offensive line, but the additions that we made to that unit. The leadership that comes from the guys that have been there, especially Justin, he's done a really good job of helping those guys understand what that standard is here at Nebraska, and he's done a really good job of coaching them along with that. And so just to see the progress that those guys have made over the summer, it's been huge. That group is the heaviest that they've been, but also the leanest that they've been. Strong as freaking oxes. It's you got Justin, who's a 665-pound squatter. You got Brendan, who he knocks out 33 reps on 225 like it's nothing. So it's been really cool to see just the growth in that group, not only from a physical and mental perspective, but also just the closeness of that unit. Those guys got to operate 5 guys in sync at all times, and to see how they've handled themselves across the months of June and July, it's been really promising.
All right, great stuff with Corey Campbell. Just the first part of our long conversation about summer workouts, what to look forward to for fall camp coming up this week, some of the individual standouts in spring as well. So more to come up in that conversation right after this. Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Chevy. Explore our limited time offers available now. Lease the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4x4 for $449 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Or save up to $10,000 off MSRP on all retired courtesy 2026 Silverado 1500s. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive. With approved credit, retired courtesy loan, tax, title, license extra. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must trade a 2015 or newer vehicle. Must finance through dealer and based upon available rebates. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store, only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Back here on Sports Nightly, continuing our conversation with the leader of the strength and conditioning program for Husker football. That is Corey Campbell. Second part of that conversation, here it is. You know, Corey, we talk a lot about the months of June and July when things get really, really tough and strenuous. That's when leaders emerge, when things are at their real toughest. Your group, what you do, that's when that is what identifies leaders pretty early on, right? Who are some of those guys maybe that are up there on that list?
Yeah, and leadership comes in a ton of forms, right? You have a lot of guys who, you know, and I hate the term lead by example, but essentially that's what they do. Is I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do the right things on a daily basis. You know, I'm going to be someone that you can look to emulate. But I'd say more from a vocal standpoint, Calandria has been great. Mm-hmm. You know, he's been an amazing individual, is really receptive to coaching, and as we, you know, as he does build relationships with everyone on the roster. I mean, he's someone in the locker room, on the field, in the weight room. It's, you know, he'll be at his rack, hit his set, and then I'll look up and he's over there with the offensive lineman, or he's, you know, over there in some instances, right, when I have the full team in there on Fridays, he's over with the D lineman. He'll go down with the receivers and the DBs. So he's somebody that, you know, he's continually pushing and challenging the standard and pushing guys to be better versions of themselves. Anthony Jones, he's been a great one too in terms of a vocal leader. You know, I think about him, Cam Lenhart, Riley Van Poppel, some individuals. You know, we're outside, we're running gassers. Those are the big guys, and yeah, it gets hot, it gets hard. But you know, vocally, they're pushing guys to push their limits. Andrew Marshall, Owen Chambliss, they've been great as well, just more of a veteran presence. You know, they've had the football time under their belts. You know, I'd say another great guy that does a really good job from a leadership standpoint is Isaiah Mosey. You know, he's a young guy, but very mature in his thought process and just the way he approaches work. And so he does a really good job of vocalizing things from a leadership standpoint. But ultimately, you know, it's a lot of guys that I can pick out. Those were some of the ones that stood out to me. But it's great when you have a group of guys who are willing, you know, to be vocal and hold guys accountable to a standard. But even better when you have an entire team who understands that, you know, it's not being called out, right? It's being called up. Called up to a standard, being held accountable, because, you know, ultimately we all have one goal and we're all in pursuit of that, and our actions need to match those goals. And when you have leaders who will not only emulate that but also defend that, that's a pretty amazing thing.
You know, you mentioned in your answer, you talked about Anthony Jones, and We interviewed him at Internal Media Days, and he has a maturity about him. He's a father now. Changes perspective, changes a lot of things. Having a guy like that in a locker room, that goes a long way, doesn't it?
It does. And, you know, you're right. He brings a certain sense of maturity to this team. And I think, and not just because he's a father, but because he's put a lot of time into this game of football. He's been a lot of places. He's seen a lot of things. And ultimately, when you have someone who really understands that it's a who or a why behind what you're doing, and you can attribute that to when you get in situations, as we talked about in the weight room, where you're in a leg press and you're doing a set to failure and you're on rep 28 and you're working to go and get 30, and yeah, it gets hard. Well, you understand, hey, who am I doing this for? You know, why am I in this leg press? You know, I'm not doing it just for myself. I'm doing it for all the other guys in that locker room, right? For Anthony specifically, right? I'm doing it for my wife and my child at home. And when you understand and can attribute some of what you're doing to things outside of yourself, you know, I think that's a pretty huge thing where you talk about motivation, right? And so Ant does a really good job at getting guys to understand the whys behind what they're being asked to do and how they do correlate to the game of football, because ultimately everything matters, right? From how you approach your sets and your reps in the weight room to how you approach, you know, what you're doing from a nutritional standpoint. And Anthony does a really good job of helping the guys in that locker room understand that the way you go about attacking your craft matters. And so, yeah, I'm definitely glad that he's a part of this unit.
You know, Corey, when I think of guys that represent what this program wants to be about, professionalism, hard work, perseverance, you know, I think of a guy like Riley Van Poppel. Mm-hmm. I think the expectation from the fan base is he's ready to have a big year. What have you seen from him in off-season training?
Yeah, Riley's been amazing. You know, another individual that really embodies the mindset of the constant pursuit of better, right? Getting 1% better every day. You know, from a weight room standpoint, you know, Riley, he's improved his strength markers, right? He's a 600-pound squatter. He's a 30-rep, 225 guy. Improved his body composition, added lean mass, up to 300 pounds now. So, you know, Riley, he's taken the approach this offseason of, you know what, it's time for me to be a pivotal part to what we're doing up front, you know, on the defensive line, but also what we're doing from a team perspective. He's emerged really well, you know, as more of a vocal leader amongst that group. And so, you know, I'm pleased with the progress that Riley has made, and you know, he should go into camp confident that he's put in the work and earn the right to go out there and have a really good year. And you know, I don't get into stats, I don't get into production. You know, I'm proud of that kid for the work that he's put in, and you know, I'm excited to go out and watch him once we start up camp next week.
Talking with Corey Campbell, Jameer Khan, you know, I was around spring practice, and you want to talk about vocal leaders. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jameer is somebody who came from a lower level, came up trying to prove himself, chip on the shoulder, plays that way, doesn't he?
He does. He plays that way. He trains that way. Jameer, he's somebody that I think embodies everything about this program. Like, when we talk about grit, when we talk about brotherhood, when we talk about relentless execution, you know, Jameer is somebody that embodies all three of those traits. Yeah, he came from a smaller school, right, where many people wouldn't have taken a shot on him coming out of high school. You know, the work that he put in earned him the right to be at a place like this. And because of that work ethic, he has continued to excel at a place like this. We had on Fridays, we do team lifts. And at the end of the lift, you know, I bring up guys and we have a debrief around our training session, right? And one of his teammates actually singled Jameer out and said, you know, hey, this is an individual that, if you guys don't pay attention to the amount of work that he puts in and the way that he approaches his craft, you need to. And I think that says a ton, right? More than I can say about Jameer. When the guys in that locker room are talking that way about him, that means that they see it, and that means that his work and the way that he goes about it isn't being unnoticed. And so I think that says enough about that kid right there, that the guys in the locker room think very highly of who he is and what he does. And he's somebody, again, I'm excited to go out and watch him and watch him play some ball.
Is Ja'Cory Barney the loudest person in the weight room as he is in everything else?
Ah, man, you know what? If it's not Ja'Cory, I told you about Calandria earlier. He's gonna give him a run for his money. Okay. But Ja'Cory is, he brings a sense of excitement and enthusiasm. It's almost, hey, when that kid walks into a room, it just lights up. And so when he's in the weight room, he's very much that way. I'm gonna get my work, but I'm also going to encourage everybody else in that weight room. And Ja'Cory is somebody, I appreciate him. He'll go down and try to squat with the lineman. He is not afraid to put some weight on the bar and attack it. Now, I don't think anybody would want me to put 665 pounds on that kid's back. But, if you left it up to him, he'll get under there and he'll try it. But all jokes aside, I think, with that mindset, the team appreciates that too. When you got your skill guys who embrace training, they embrace the weight room, they embrace, the process of doing what it takes to excel at this game. That's a really cool thing, and everybody sees it. And so, Ja'Cory, definitely a bright spot when you talk about bringing a sense of energy and enthusiasm. And, that's a huge part of a program, too, because Ja'Cory does a good job of that regardless of the situations or the circumstances. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be huge, especially when we face times of adversity.
Final one, Corey, but, we talk a lot about the guys on the field, but how about the guys behind the scenes on your staff? First one's in the building, last one's out of the building. It is a team effort, and you have a great staff behind you in strength and conditioning.
Yeah, I do. And I sit here and I'm doing this interview with you, and, I sit in the position of head strength coach, but I couldn't do it without those guys. They make my job a ton easier because of how great they are as coaches and human beings. You talked about building relationships earlier, and they do an amazing job at building relationships with those guys on that roster, because if you don't have that relationship, it's hard to get out of the athletes what you need for them to consistently improve. So, Coach Gerhardt, Coach White, Coach Brooks, Coach Johnson, Tanner in our sports science department, Coach Shelby, and even down to our interns. We have a bunch of volunteer interns that come in throughout the summer to help, this system run. And so I'm super thankful for my staff. I'm thankful that they're here with me at Nebraska. And, I also want to shout out everybody on the performance team. During the summer, it's a lot of just us with those guys. So Kristen and her staff from a nutrition standpoint, Drew and his staff in athletic medicine, Dr. Cooper from a sports psychology standpoint, and all things in between. It's definitely a group effort to train these guys up and get them prepared for camp so that we can go and have, a really good season. And so, again, I'm thankful for the opportunity to work with such elite coaches, such elite staff members, because those men and women are some of the best at what they do.
Yeah, watching you guys go to work, you guys are elite at what you do in strength and conditioning, and it's an honor to watch you guys go to work every day and see how you continue to build this program from the off season, and then watch you guys go to work in fall camp and throughout the year. Corey, thanks so much for joining us, and here we are. Fall camp is here.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. Corey Campbell, head strength conditioning coach for Husker football. Appreciate him joining us as fall camp is on the horizon. Back with more of the show after this.
The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. Get the most of your membership by registering early. Go to Huskers.com/Kids Club to get your membership today. Again, Huskers.com/Kids Club. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store. Only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Welcome back. Just a couple minutes left for us here in hour number 2. A whole nother hour Sports Nightly coming up next. With Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody. Good stuff there from Corey Campbell. And, you know, again, hearing from the players, it's been a really, really tough few months. They've put them to work, and you know, I know that Corey Campbell puts a lot on himself to make sure that those guys are ready to go, and we're going to get to see it all come to fruition come Wednesday.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, of course, them go to work in the spring, and then some of the workouts they had in the summer. It's one of the most important times in the calendar is the summer workouts. It's how guys get tested. It's how you know, they've altered some things, changed some things, and how they do summer workouts, and you want to be able to play even better in November than you do in September. And how do they find ways to do that? Well, you also got to keep the guys healthy throughout the year as well. And I think they feel like they have a really good plan. One, you're more of an experienced team. Perhaps maybe that helps when it's all said and done. And Coach Rule has said that, you know, he thinks they were tough enough last year. It's just the football wasn't good enough in November. So can the football be good enough? Can the X's and O's be good enough late in the year? And we'll find out. But it all gets going on Wednesday when Corey and his staff continue to get their hands on these players and put them through a gauntlet.
They seem like they're in great condition, just, again, coming from guys that have been part of this program for several seasons. Just, again, the tweaks, the changes, how they've attacked it. It's been a very business-like approach. And, you know, again, we talked a lot about maybe the messaging a little bit on Big Ten Media Days, a little bit of a quieter offseason, if you will, but we're going to start seeing it come to action, and then I know they're just ready to kind of get out there and play some football and be done with this talking business.
Enough's enough. Time to put the pads on. Line it up.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Huskers. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk some Big Ten Volleyball Day. Big Ten Media Days with Husker Volleyball. Keep it here.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at Emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
At Woodhouse Hyundai, triple your down payment in a new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE. Lease yours for just $264 per month. Put $2,000 down and we'll add another $4,000 on us. Plus, rest assured with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit WoodhouseHyundai.com or WoodhousePlaceHyundai.com today. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Tax, title, license extra. First payment $299 doc fee and $650 acquisition fee due at signing. Stock number H260847. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Nebraska football fans know what it takes to be the best. You've got to handle the heat, power through the cold, read the pressure. Same goes for the techs at John Henry's. They're trusted to perform when it's all on the line, when winter's driving hard and your furnace fumbles, when your thermostat is in the red zone, when the power goes out before the final whistle. Make the easy call.
Call 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Good evening, I'm Duke Root, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Nebraska soccer seniors Kayma Carpenter, Ella Guyett, and Ella Rudney were recognized as Big Ten players to watch today. Carpenter is coming off a 2026 campaign where she tied for the team lead with 15 points and 6 goals. Rudney also had 15 points and 6 goals for the Big Red last season, along with 3 assists. And Guyett was injured and didn't play in 2025, but was a constant presence in 2024 as she started all 17 matches that season. Nebraska quarterback Anthony Calandria received recognition Monday morning as he was named to the preseason watch list for the Maxwell Award. Calandria, who transferred to Nebraska for the 2026 season, was the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Year at UNLV last season. He guided a UNLV offense that ranked 18th nationally in scoring and 20th in total offense in 2025. The Big Ten Network announced its 2026 volleyball TV schedule today. 10 of Nebraska's 20 Big Ten Conference matches will be nationally televised, along with at least 5 non-conference matches. Additional matches selected for TV, including those on Nebraska Public Media, will be announced at a later date. Any home matches and Big Ten road matches not selected for television will be available on Big Ten Plus. The MLB trade deadline occurred today. Some notable moves include Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal traded from the Tigers to the Dodgers. All-star Luis Arias traded from the Giants to the Phillies. Adley Rutschman traded from the Orioles to the Red Sox. Nationals Foster Griffin traded to the Guardians, and the Padres acquiring Casey Mize from the Tigers. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, helping homeowners and businesses protect what matters most for over 45 years.
Infield to the right as well. Heron to the wine, her 1-ball pitch. Ava swings and drives this one to center. Johnson going back. It's good. It's good. Huskers win. Huskers win. Huskers win. Huskers win. 5-3 on the Kuzak 2-run home run.
5:58 to go in the first half of play as Jamarcus Lawrence trots it into the front court, picked up by Cooper Campbell. Bounce pass, left corner, 3-ball. Sanford got another one. 5 of them. Sanford exhorting the crowd, and they oblige, and the Huskers are up 11.
Keelan Smith, the motion man from left to right. Snap, quick screen near left, leaping catch from Hunter, leaks through, breaks an ankle tackle.
There he goes, Hunter, 40, 35, 30. Hunter all the way. That just might be your dagger.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Going to talk some Big Ten volleyball media days as the Husker volleyball team took their spot on the Big Ten rotation today. They've done such a good job. They brought that in, I think it was like 4 years ago, and it's just been such a cool addition and given the spotlight to the volleyball teams who are a huge part of what the Big Ten Network does.
Yeah, it's growing. And media days, that's what it essentially is, regardless of the sport. Even for football, it's for the network. It's for the Big Ten Network more than anything with the amount of stuff that they do. But yeah, it's cool. They all fly into Chicago to the Big Ten Network actual studios, unlike, you know, what football does. They go to a hotel somewhere in Chicago. But to get everybody to the network studios to see the headquarters for the network is pretty cool, and they do a nice job.
So before we start, we had a fun story that was told today. And so the volleyball coach for Maryland, Adam Hughes, told a story. And it's kind of funny. I'm not sure who tweeted it or posted it on X, but they said that they did not have this on their bingo card today. But he actually has a connection to Matt Rule. So wanted to play that clip for you here tonight.
I'm 13 years old, just finished Little League, and I had 4 college students who were my baseball coaches, and one of them happened to be Matt Rule. And so we were the Bad News Bears. We played, I think, 14 games. We were 0-7, and Coach Rule was still the happy-go-lucky, high energy on a Saturday morning. I don't know how he was pulling it off. And I'm happy to say we flipped the script, and we got to 7-7. And we had a great celebration. And I don't mean this to say something nice about myself, but I was named the MVP, and he gave me an award. And the award was a slice of pizza to my face. He just rubbed it all over me. But he's been great. I've emailed him when he was at the Panthers. He responded. So, yeah, it's cool to see him. I'm also rooting for him as well.
How cool is that?
Yeah, small
I mean,
world.
there's so many stories. We got to ask Coach Rule about that. I'm sure he heard the clip. Maybe you'll hear it in the next couple of days. But ask him about that. So he was his little league coach, baseball coach.
They ended up going 7-7, and he was the MVP. And Coach Rule gave him a pizza to.
But it's how they went 7-7. So they started 0-7, but finished 7-0.
Yes.
So that's I guess for Coach Rule, coaching was always in his blood, regardless of the sport. I didn't even know that Coach Rule. I don't know if he still is a big baseball guy or not. I'd have to ask him. I know he's a big Knicks fan, so he's into basketball.
It sounds like a great topic for one of the upcoming Husker radio shows on when he comes in studio that you can dive into his baseball coaching days.
Yeah, because I haven't heard him talk a whole lot about baseball, but that's interesting. Him coaching Little League. I wonder if he was as intense as he is now. Probably is.
Probably.
I mean, it's just when you're a coach, you're wired only one way.
Yeah. So, pretty fun story. Just thought that would be cool to play for you here tonight. But let's talk some Husker volleyball as they took the podium today, and absolutely fantastic as they always are. Bergen Riley, Andy Jackson, the two-player representatives, along with the head coach Danny Busboom Kelly. Wanted to play you a few of the clips from their press conference. We heard from Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley last week, so wanted to kind of focus more on what the head coach had to say today. But Kyle and I have talked a lot about this here and just the expectations. It's what comes along with playing with this program. It's nothing new. They are the best team, one of the best teams that have ever played the sport last year, and came up short of winning a national title. And so, again, the expectations are right there where they are every single year. And Coach Busboom Kelly was asked about just how they go about handling the pressure of coaching and playing at Nebraska.
It's certainly a driving force in the way we plan practice and go about, everything that we do on a daily basis, because, you take a day off or reps off, it's eventually going to catch you. And when something catches us at Nebraska, everybody notices. And we have to be prepared for that. And we have to continue to work to combat getting complacent and letting that pressure hurt us. But for me personally, I really want to model, what I want my players to feel and how I want them to act. And so just making sure that we continue to enjoy the journey. We love volleyball. I've talked about, to a lot of recruits, I want players that love the game. So that doesn't matter if you're playing in front of 0 people or 92,000. I want us to play with the same type of joy. And I'm going to come into the gym every day, practice or competition, in a consistent manner where they can feel that. And I also think reminding them that we're more than just volleyball players and, putting, I guess I would say, my money where my mouth is. Is that the saying? Where, I tell them when I have things to do with my family or when we need to take days off for personal things, like that's okay. And usually that just makes us stronger.
Yeah, sometimes it gets lost in all the expectations and the hopes for championships and the big crowds and the attendance records, that you also have to remember that you have to try to have fun, right? And there is no complacency in this program, and it's very strict in that regard, that these are the expectations that we chase. And they're playing in all these cool matches this year. You're playing at AT&T Stadium, you're playing at Wrigley Field, and all these cool things that you never thought would be a possibility. But you also have to keep, if you're DBK, you have to keep these players grounded in the sense that it is the game that you've been playing for a long, long time, and to continue to have fun with it, even when the expectations and the pressure are as high as they are.
That being said, what she had talked about every day, every kind of instance of what they do, she wants them, that's how she wants it to be. And we heard it last year, just how competitive those practices were. And sometimes the practices were harder than what they were doing in matches. And, the B team, if you will, was taking the A team to 5 sets. And it just was, it's intense in their practices. And so I think that's why it maybe made things look so much easier, if you will, when they got to match day.
Yeah, because you're playing a top 10 team on the other side of the net. That just happens to be your depth. That is the old cliche, iron sharpens iron. There's no more truer statement than a Nebraska volleyball practice, because there is incredible depth, and you have the elite of the elite. Just shows how shocked everybody was when they lost last year against Texas A&M, because there was a team that was destined for a championship. But this year, with the players they have back, with the depth they have, the expectations are the exact same.
All right. Well, how about all these opportunities that Nebraska has really to start off the season, the awesome venues that they're going to be playing in? Danny was asked about just continuing to find new opportunities to grow the sport.
I don't know. It feels like every time you think that, oh, maybe we've done it all, something else comes up, something bigger. I do think we still have room to grow in terms of media coverage when it comes to TV games and on big networks, not just the conference networks. Like, how many can we get on big time networks? And then, you've seen it a little bit with some of the events we're playing in, but are these events paying money, to not only players, but also athletic departments and funding the trips to get there and all that? And there's a few, but I think there's room to grow, as you've seen in men's basketball and women's basketball. So it's pretty neat, though, to see the foundation of that being laid, and companies and willing to put themselves on the line to help our sport. And then typically it pays off for them. So hopefully we continue to see more growth in those areas.
And speaking of, we did have the national TV schedule come out today for volleyball. We did have the question of where some of these matches are being aired, including the Wrigley Field matches is going to be on Fox. The first nationally televised match. We still don't know about the Arlington-Dallas exhibitions.
Yeah.
We assume that it's going to be, they say it's going to be on a network.
Right.
Whether that's a streaming service or if that's an actual linear network, the NBCs, the Foxes of the world, we'll wait and see. I would imagine that announcement's going to come out soon. But they have a Fox game coming up on September 6th. They have an in-conference Fox match against Wisconsin that's on October 10th. There's a lot of Big Ten Network, and there's a lot of FS1. And I would venture to guess that those numbers of linear matches, so matches on non-streaming services, conventional channels, that number will continue to grow every single year.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is, look, we know the numbers are there for Nebraska. It's continuing to grow that outside of when Nebraska's playing, right? Because every time you're having these events, it's Nebraska's got to be involved. But can you get the sport to where, and I think that's what, Danny was alluding to, is getting more of these games on the major networks and not just on the conference networks, but allowing it to open up to where, look, I think we're all proud that it's Nebraska's kind of carrying the load. But if you talk about continuing to grow the sport, it's got to be beyond Nebraska.
Yeah, that's double headers, triple headers on networks. Fox has done a good job for the most part. Putting those matches on Fox are a big deal. Even for on the men's basketball side, I think they had one or maybe two games on Fox last year. I know the second return game when Iowa came to Lincoln, that was a game that was on linear Fox. I mean, all of those matches mean a lot. You see even women's softball. I mean, how many games recently have been on ABC? All that exposure adds up over time. And volleyball, specifically women's volleyball, it's at a place where there's going to be, if you look at a line chart, I mean, the viewership's just going to continue to go up. And it's such an easy thing because the sport is quick, it's fast. It's a television product because it fits within a short window of time. So all of that volleyball has going for it because it's just such a good TV sport, and it's easy for the networks to latch onto because you see the growing numbers.
All right. Well, next question, Danny was asked about just how they go about building the non-conference schedule.
It really depends and it varies. It's hard to go on the road in some capacities for us because our home atmosphere, number one, is great, but it makes money for the university, so we have to evaluate what that looks like. But also, we want to put our players in tough situations. We can't just play every non-conference game at home. We want to have some experience going on the road. We look at where our players are from. Does it get them closer to their hometowns? Where are we recruiting from? Where recruits could come watch us? And then, of course, who the opponents are certainly matters. And we want to make sure, again, we have a balance of I don't want to play the top 1 through 10 teams in the country to start the season. I want to be able to have different types of challenges throughout the non-conference. So I'd say it really varies from year to year. And yes, a lot of programs want us to come, and I get pitches all the time from schools of, you need to come here because Andy Jackson, let's get her home to Colorado, or
Yes.
why haven't we?
Go Buffs.
And it's cool though. We are playing DePaul here, and I'm friends with Marie, the head coach at DePaul, and she's like, this is a big deal, you guys coming. So when I can also help out a colleague and somebody I really respect and give their program a boost, that's a pretty fun reason to come somewhere as well.
That's an interesting point. By the way, that Andy Jackson saying "Go Buffs," I'm sure that'll come back to haunt Andy Jackson. A lot of Husker fans don't love that.
Tapped her like, "Hey,
yeah, but we don't like them."
Let's not say that.
But it's interesting. I never thought of it that way. Like I could see in a world where coaches from other programs fly in here and give a PowerPoint presentation as to you should come here because we know what do? They sell out venues, more concessions, all these things, and it drums up interest for the program that you're traveling to. I think that's a fascinating aspect of Nebraska volleyball. Is they're the Beatles, right? They're this traveling circus that brings in all of this attention and ticket sales, and I think it's really great for the sport.
And it's a balancing act, though, because you heard her say this, like while they feel a responsibility to do that, to continue to grow the game, continue to grow the sport, to continue to fill these venues, they also want to play at home. It's also very beneficial in multiple ways to play here at home, and so it's just that balance of making sure that you are playing enough games at home where it's both financially beneficial for you, but also for your fans, that you're giving enough opportunities at home. It's impossible for teams to come here and win, but then also you still want to be able to take on those responsibilities of continuing to grow the sport. So it is that balancing act. All right, last clip. I thought this is really neat too, just a different take on this, and this is something that I've heard from players, from coaches when I've sat in here and done the dig with the assistant coaches, but just since Danny's come in, it wasn't, hey, I'm going to do it my way and this is how I'm doing it and we're going to do it exactly how I've done it. It's been a collaborative effort, and she wants to hear the input and what works best for everybody else. And so she was asked about that, about how she kind of goes about involving everybody from members of her staff to even players in the program. And then after she finishes answering, it's pretty cool to hear how Bergen chimes in. So we'll play that for you now.
Yeah, I feel like I touched on that a little bit already, just making sure we're really thoughtful about days off, about having honest conversations about what we need. And one of my biggest pillars in my coaching style is being collaborative. So I want input from my staff and players, and I take that to heart. And I think our players they trust me enough, especially now going into year 2, to say how they really feel and think. And then typically we can come to, some sort of agreement of, from experience as a coach, what works best or what's works best in the past versus what they need and what they feel like they need. So I think collaboration is very, very key when it comes to a long season, and the season's longer than it's ever been this year. But I think that's a good thing. I don't know if these ladies have anything else to add.
No, I agree. I feel like Danny really does value our input, and that's a really cool thing about just our program as a whole. And you can tell she values the input of the other coaches and us players, and it doesn't even have to be me and Andy. It can be anyone on the team, and she's not gonna take that and say like, hey, if we're tired, she's not gonna say, oh, you just want a day off. Like, well, because we do have that relationship with her that if we go and we feel like our bodies need a little bit of a break or a lighter practice or whatever, she knows that we mean that. And it's just a two-way line of communication that comes from a lot of trust and respect off the court too.
It also comes with having veteran players too that maybe you can trust in that you don't have younger players or immature players that are just trying to pull a fast one on you to say, hey, we're tired, we don't want to practice. You have players around, you have a good culture, you have players that you trust, and you wonder, I mean, she was a head coach at Louisville and has been an assistant coach here, but that experience over time, you wonder if that was the way that she did things right away, or she had to learn to become that kind of coach that listened to your assistants, that listened to your players. Maybe that comes too with just more experience of being a head coach over time.
Yeah, and John Cook's always bragged on her about her ability to relate to the players. I think that's probably part of it, is just kind of sometimes meeting them where they are and making sure that she is doing what they need and listening to them and what works best for them as well. So, all right, got to get to a break. 402-413-2400 is that number if you want to text into the show. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. All right, coming up next, we're going to reveal to you our very last Sharpies award category. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
At Woodhouse Hyundai, triple your down payment in a new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE. Lease yours for just $264 per month. Put $2,000 down and we'll add another $4,000 on us. Plus, rest assured with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit WoodhouseHyundai.com or WoodhousePlaceHyundai.com today. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, license extra. First payment $299 doc fee and $650 acquisition fee due at signing. Stock number H260847. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, single game tickets for Nebraska soccer are on sale now. Head to Barbara Hibner Stadium this fall to cash big matchups against Notre Dame, Alabama, USC, UCLA, and more. Want to cash every match? Season tickets are still available and start at $98. Get your tickets today by visiting huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Every year, Nebraska comes together. Across small towns, big cities, living rooms and stadium seats, one thing connects us all. It's more than athletics. It's community. It's tradition. It's home. Allo is proud to keep connections strong with 100% fiber internet and hometown service built for Nebraskans. Stay connected to what matters with Allo Fiber, proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Not All Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Not All Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Not All Services. These are the Not All Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
Right now, at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get 0% APR for up to 84 months on all new 2026 Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L models during the Make This the Summer event. Or enjoy 10% off MSRP on all in-stock 2026 Ram 2500s and Ram 3500s. 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Blair and Bellevue. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. When financed with Stellantis Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store, only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. So we introduced a new thing that we're going to continue to do annually now, but it was the inaugural Sharpie Awards. We've had different categories. We've played for you throughout the month of July. You guys have been weighing in, voting. Men's basketball has ran away with every single category so far this summer. Probably will again this one as well. But it's been a fun edition. And now that we know what we're doing, it'll be even better next year.
Yes, we're going to mark down things as we go. We'll hopefully introduce different categories next year, have a more of an expanded field, and it'll be interesting. It's only going to get better as we go, as we learn.
All right. So without further ado, hit it, Maestro. Best win.
Good evening and welcome to the inaugural Sharpie Awards, celebrating the moments, highlights, and personalities that made this year in Husker sports memorable.
Latif back to pass, loads a screen left, Akrs of space, Johnson 45 to midfield, blockers out in front, 45-40, left sideline to the 30, breaks a tackle, tiptoes the boundary, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Huskers! Oh, that was incredible!
Center. Johnson going back, it's gone! It's gone!
And another one, he's unconscious. 26 first half points.
He'll take a three. Benches! Deep left center field. That is a tape measure shot for DC. His second.
Point set match, Big Red. That's perfection. 30-0.
Here are the nominations for Best Husker Win.
Men's basketball, NCAA tournament versus Vanderbilt.
Okereke will throw it in. Handed the ball. Gets it in. 2 seconds. Half-court shot on the way. Oh, my God. It's no good. Oh, my Lord. In and out at the buzzer. Nebraska to the Sweet 16. It is a miracle finish for Nebraska. And it was destined to happen. It was destined to happen. Nebraska's going to the Sweet 16.
Softball, Women's College World Series walk-off versus Arkansas.
Infield to the right as well. Heron to the wine, her one ball pitch. Ava swings and drives this one to center. Johnson going back. It's gone. It's gone. Huskers win. Huskers win. Huskers win. Huskers win. 5-3 on the Kuzak 2-run home run.
Volleyball, 5-set win versus Kentucky.
Good pass, left side shot. Hudson blocked by Virginia Briano. The Italian skies and 2 heads that went home to the Kentucky deck.
Baseball, 10-inning comeback at Auburn.
Bender's first. High pop fly, right side of the infield. Who's got it? It's Stokes, makes the catch. Ball game, a marathon thriller, and the Huskers take down number 7 Auburn.
Best win, and congratulations, you made that one.
Yes. My apologies to Will Bolt and crew, because if my voice is attached, it ain't winning. So I'll vote for it because I vote for myself. But we all know who's winning, and we all know who's going to come out on top, because it's the one you should vote for. In terms of they're all incredible wins and great accomplishments, but none were quite like the one that everyone's probably going to vote for.
Yeah, so the Vanderbilt win to send Nebraska men's basketball to the Sweet 16. Again, you talked about it, just that last second shot. It was, you could hear, I was in that arena, you could hear a pin drop. It looked so online, but that game was just an unbelievable game. People were talking about it was the game of the tournament. And so what an incredible basketball game. And then just to add to the historic season. And then the Women's College World Series, we've talked about this. Of course, it was one of the best moments, the Ava Kuzak walk-off home run, but getting back to Oklahoma City, getting that win in the first round over Arkansas, just an unbelievable game as well, and probably would win this category if it
two
weren't
of the
for
biggest
men's
wins in program history.
Yeah.
For each programmer on the list.
Yes.
So.
And then going back to that volleyball win over Kentucky, and we talked a lot about just the set sweep record and the straight sets and how many things it looked so easy once they got to conference play. But the reverse sweep against Kentucky, I mean, that was early in the season. They're down.
August.
It was, everybody was in shock, and what an unbelievable comeback. And that was a big win for this team as they kind of launched forward into what was, again, just a complete domination of conference play.
Yeah, it was just a team that even if they're down, which is rare, they're never out, which is obvious. The way that they were able to fight back. I think that was in Nashville, right? That was a neutral site match.
On ABC.
But it was dominated by Husker fans. I remember people saying that downtown Nashville was dominated by red for the Huskers. So they travel, of course, but that was a great one. And if they came back to beat A&M, that would have been on the list as well. And
Absolutely.
could have
That
been
one
one you
probably
vote
would've
for.
won.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have won.
But again, you have two different sports that had their biggest win in school history.
Yes.
For their program on the list.
And then finally, the baseball, the big win over Auburn. That was massive.
Top
that was
10 win.
early in the season, but that kind of set the tone of what this team, the teams that they're able to go and compete and win on their home field.
Yeah, one of the best years in quite some time for Husker baseball, and that was a massive win early in the year. Top 10 win on the road against Auburn, which really helped their resume late in the year when you were talking about hosting a regional for the first time since 2008. That was a nail-biter. Will Jeske hit the 3-run home run to create some separation. I think they're up 9-5 heading into the bottom of the 10th. Bases loaded. The thing got really tight. Price Bender came in an impossible situation, got the pop out to second base, and that was the highlight that you heard that ended it and started what was a really great year.
All right, so again, this is our final Sharpies Award, our inaugural season of the Sharpies, but we'll continue to do it moving forward. We've had fun with it, so we appreciate the guys that have been a part of it. Christopher Sullivan Diaz is an excellent host of the Sharpies.
What a voice.
Cassidy contributed. Josh put together the elements. Camden, so the committee, everybody, we appreciate all of your hard work on it. And as we've done every single week, the poll will be up as soon as the show's over on our X account, so you can vote there on our Huskers Radio Network X account. And then you can text it in 402-413-2400. Should we make Duke do the counting now that he's back, or is it still a Matty Mills job?
We got to make him do something.
Still a Matty Mills job. All right. So if it comes down to a text vote, which last week it maybe could have factored in a little bit, but it has not been a factor. The polls have been pretty much dominated for Nebraska men's basketball. So we'll see if how this one pans out. But I got a feeling it might be a runaway as well. But you can vote on our polls on X and then text it in as well. Let us know what you think about the wins and how you feel they shake out. But again, 402-413-2400. Enhance your grilling game with a Nebraska-made grill from M Grills. Wood pellet and charcoal grills made to last with Nebraska values. Check them out at mgrills.com. All right, coming up next, it's time for Camden's Culture segment. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com. McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between two mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Crew. Anna, what says summer to you?
Sunshine, road trips, camping.
And?
Ford being #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands according to J.D. Power.
And?
And low APR offers with Ford credit financing on a select lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs.
My kind of summer.
For APR offer information, visit Ford.com or your local Ford dealer. For J.D. Power 2026 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2026 model year.
When it comes to your business running efficiently day to day, you rely on technology and a network that is secure, fast, and has measures in place to help prevent downtime. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we know firsthand that reliability is business. We work with businesses across the state to implement managed IT solutions that keep your business running securely. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Reliability is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
Drive into summer during the Woodhouse Ford Summer Sales Event. From family road trips to tackling the toughest jobs, a new Ford is ready for every mile ahead. For a limited time, receive $1,000 bonus cash plus a 2-year premium maintenance plan on select 2026 Ford models. Browse our inventory online or visit us in-store in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. 2-year premium maintenance plan includes 2 free oil changes. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody, joined by Camden Cohn as well. Art in Los Angeles has chimed in on the text line. No matter who wins the Sharpie Awards, for me, Kyle gets my vote in all categories. GBR.
All right. Well, Art, I needed you on the last couple.
Trophy.
Yes, so that's what the winner gets a trophy from Jess's childhood.
So Camden was a part of the committee for the nominees. Do you guys, what approach are you taking to making sure you're tracking all of that coming up this year?
For next year? Yeah. I think, it starts with just making sure we're cutting the highlights in real time, right? And then, because that was the main thing. We any of the funny moments, I'm sure we had funnier moments on the broadcast, but we just didn't cut them, so then you forget about them, and so
nightmare to go back and listen to an entire broadcast. You
don't know when things happened,
yeah.
And so if we cut it in real time, that will help. And then we have a specific folder already called the Sharpies.
Oh, nice!
They're ahead
for this year. That we'll have for 26, 27, or whatever, and then we can just put by each sport or whatever we want, and then whittle it down from there to what seems like the best.
Might see if we have any new ideas for categories too, but at least the ones we got, we can
start earlier in the summer if we wanted to add more categories.
Yeah. So
I love how you said committee too. It's just me and you. We're the ones who put it together.
No, the
Josh and I decided which
I'm
ones.
talking about. Yeah, I guess that's right. But we provided the framework for the categories. Yes. They did the legwork.
Yes.
They did the true legwork.
Well, yeah. But at least now if people want to chime in and say, hey, they nominate that for a Sharpie Award, hey, go for it. We're open to it. We're open to all the input. So
doesn't mean we'll use it.
We're gonna
we will take your nomination.
I feel like we also need to involve Big Red Reaction somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe MVP
has its own category
or best call or best, I don't know. I think maybe that could be its own category.
And obviously that's when you gotta again try and cut in real time, because otherwise you'll forget. So.
Yeah. So we got to reward those people that stay up late, that call into the show weekly. So, and the big dog, which is back, which we'll hear from him coming up here tomorrow night.
Does Big Dog still have his bark?
Yeah. He does. Okay. He does. He's coming for you in the picks.
Did you talk about any paintball today?
We did. He actually agreed that he's an easy target.
His back's too big.
But he said, hey, I'm not hiding behind anything. So
just kind of
so he's just charging.
I'll say he's going to come up to you.
This is it's like old school fighting with him. They just run into each other. Everyone just runs into each other.
But he said he's in. He'll take you on anytime.
Okay, bring it on. Bring it on, big dog. We'll see who's got the real bark.
Okay. All right. Well, so Camden joining us for his segment that
We're about to enter the club.
We started at the beginning of the summer. We still have not named. And he's back again for another one.
Got the club music going?
It's going.
Good.
It's going.
All right.
Jersey Shore.
I meant to have this one in last week's, but I forgot.
Okay.
But the new Spider-Man movie came out last week.
It did.
It was the biggest opening weekend in box office history. It surpassed $360 million.
You asked Kyle to go to the movies. He said no.
I did. He said no.
You guys are going to the movies, though.
We are. And so we invited you.
Tonight?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow night, because it's cheaper on Tuesday.
And it's after the show they're going to watch Spider-Man.
Who's all going?
So far, just Chris, Josh, and I.
Okay.
Duke's already seeing it tomorrow somewhere else.
Duke wanted no part of that trio, huh?
Do you have to have known something else? Is this like a sequel? Like, do you have to know what's going on? To
I
go
watched
see this?
the first one.
Like, you could look something up, I'm sure, and like be aware.
All right.
But the question was, will either of you be going to see it? And then part 2 would be, what is your favorite Marvel or superhero movie?
Oh gosh.
The fictional Aquaman from Entourage. We were talking about Entourage before the show. Vincent Chase starred in Aquaman. I'm not a Marvel guy. I've always said I'm not a sci-fi guy, but I'd actually have to look up.
I'm looking them up right now, and I'm not sure.
What's better, Marvel or DC?
That's a good question too. I like Marvel better.
For you comic nerds.
See, I'm not huge. I'm looking at these, and I don't know if I've seen any of these.
I mean, Batman's probably up there, right? Is that a Marvel movie?
That's DC.
See?
Yeah, see, I haven't seen a single one of these.
Deadpool?
I've seen Deadpool. I like Deadpool. And they're coming out with a new one. I saw Ryan Reynolds had a new like Deadpool costume.
Yep. There you go. And you haven't seen any of them?
I have no input
Isn't
on this. I apologize.
Ryan Gosling, isn't he the Ghost Rider? The next Ghost Rider?
Sounds right.
Is that Marvel or DC? It is Marvel?
Okay. You know a little bit.
I saw that on TikTok presents all these different things to me. I saw Comic-Con was recently.
Yeah. What else is on your For You page recently? Like, what do we got?
A lot of things.
That's another question.
A lot of cats. There's a lot of cats that are dancing. Dogs. Continuous.
Yeah.
It's a lot of animals.
I get a lot of dogs. Stuff.
A lot of animals.
I got a lot of funny. My FYP is like kind of comedic, and so I'll actually send a lot of them to DB, and we laugh about a lot of them. So
I've been getting the dog bar TikToks on my page recently.
It's your phone's listening to you.
I know it is.
Listening to me talking to you in the studio.
It is. And so I like scroll and I'm like, wait, is Sunny gonna be in this one? Like,
you know what's funny? I'll buy something from the grocery store, something that I've never bought before, have not Googled it, and all of a sudden an ad for that product will show up on my phone.
Yep.
It's crazy. All right, what's next?
Next one, Lollapalooza, huge music festival in Chicago, was last weekend. Would you guys ever attend a musical festival like that, or have you?
I have.
Not in 17 million years.
I have.
I didn't think it'd be up your alley.
I would see them in concert for their own tour. I would not go to a festival and cram in for hours. People like go to the bathroom in diapers to be able to stand in a crowd for that long and get as close to the stage and be crammed in there. It's something you do when you're younger. That's more of an excuse that I can use now that I'm older, but even when I was younger, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I forgot it was like a country music festival in College Station when I was in college, but I've done it, and I might do it again. It just depends.
Just depends who's there.
Yeah, who I was going with and who was going to be performing.
I'm not sure I could do it.
No way you would do that. That's such a lie.
If you don't have to like,
you got knees like me. You wouldn't be standing all that time.
I mean, you never know. Never know.
The mud and the
No,
it's not Woodstock anymore.
I said it rains, then it was.
Yeah, not a chance.
All right.
Sticking with TikTok, the other day I saw someone take a video of some mice in the Boston airport. So that made me curious. You guys have traveled a ton for work. What are your favorite and least favorite airports? Obviously, the Lincoln Airport has to be high on that list.
Yes.
I love what they did with the Newark Airport in New Jersey, the Terminal A, brand new. It is a gem. It used to be one of the worst.
I think I like the Phoenix Airport. It's got a lot of
I haven't been to that one in a while.
eating, right, and shopping.
The Atlanta Airport is just too many people.
The problem is like when we travel with the teams, we don't always go into the airport.
That's true.
So
Yeah, not your other ones. The other ones.
I'm sure a lot of people would say Vegas because you can gamble in that airport.
That's
You sit
true.
at the
I have
slot
been in that
machines.
one a couple times.
Chris is saying absolutely not.
I was in Dallas recently. That one
not bad.
was okay. Dallas, Fort Worth.
Like Denver? Have you been to the Denver one?
Prefer
I
not
was.
to
I
have layovers and
connected
have to
into
be-
the Denver one. I've heard some rumors about the Illuminati in the
Yeah.
Denver airport. Have you read about that?
Oh yeah, all sorts of conspiracy
That's great.
theories.
If people don't know about that, they should read about that. I mean, I don't think any of it's true, but
never know.
It's wild the things that people come up with.
Well, no, I mean,
So there's not one you just despise necessarily.
I'm
You
sure
didn't really
there
love
is.
the Atlanta one, like Chicago.
The
A lot of
Atlanta
people
one's
say
tough
O'Hare's
just because
bad.
it's a hub.
Yeah.
It's a domestic. So
Like
a
all of
lot of
Delta.
flights in the southeast go through Atlanta, and it's just very. You just don't feel clean, which is the case with a lot of airports.
I'd rather not have to be in a layover in an airport. Oh, how about that? And not have to have a preference one way or another.
So you just want to go from one flight to the next?
Direct.
The Coody charter?
Direct flights everywhere.
Well, you fly private anyway, so you don't have to worry about it.
Basically.
Or I drive. I drive to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Sunny.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Sunny is my passenger.
All right, last one. Hall of Fame game is on Thursday night. You guys have a way too early Super Bowl prediction.
Outside of the Colts?
Oh, gosh.
Well, it can be Colts first. Who are we picking in the NFC?
No, probably not the Colts. Excuse me. I'm going to go in the NFC. It's interesting. The Niners are an interesting case, right? Their head coach might be out for a little bit. Kyle Shanahan. Might have to.
Duke's Rams?
The Rams are the favorite, the betting favorite, but I don't think they'll get there. To the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs might be on the tail end on the AFC side of what. What if I say the Chargers break through? Or the Bills? I'll go with the
You think
Bills.
the Bills finally
I think
do
the
it?
Bills finally break through in the AFC.
That's it. I was going to go Bills, and I'll just throw one out there. How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Wow.
Baker's unhappy. Baker's unhappy. Give me the Bills. How about this?
Because Searles has been dying for the Bills. He's
He's
dying.
a former Bill.
He wants them to get there so bad. He's been on them every single year. Let's make it happen.
What if I dare say this is the year the Dallas Cowboys get to the Super Bowl?
I almost said that. I almost said that.
Chris
but-
says no. That would be something. Well, we'll write your predictions
What's
down
yours?
from August 3rd. It's a good question. I mean, I like the Bills. I think the Bills are solid.
Eagles, Packers,
Is that some of the best
Lions in the
ones?
NFC.
I mean, Chris wants the Bears.
CSD,
obviously.
who are you a fan of?
Bears.
That's right, I did know that. Him and
Chicago
Hanley. Him and Hanley are a dynamic duo.
Yes.
Bears
It's the
towards
Rams.
a deep run last year.
We'll see.
Lost in the divisional round, right?
But the Colts are the Super Bowl champs.
In my mind,
Yes.
will they make the playoffs finally for the first time since like 2020 or 2019?
All right.
Probably not.
We'll see.
That's okay.
Hopefully they keep your hopes up for a while. But got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up the show next. Thanks, Camden.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Nebraska. We're connected by more than fiber. We're connected by traditions, by hometown pride, by the Sea of Red on game day, by generations of fans who know what it means to cheer together. Allo is proud to be the connection behind those moments, bringing families together, keeping communities close, and helping Nebraskans stay connected to what truly matters. Allo Fiber, connecting what matters. Proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Huskers. Welcome back. Final few minutes left here of this Monday night edition of Sports Nightly. So tomorrow we will have football availability. The guys report tomorrow. They're in the dorms, right?
I think so,
Yeah.
for a week.
Yep. So we will chat with a couple of those guys before practice gets underway on Wednesday morning.
Mhm.
So I know that there will be some changes to the schedule come once they get through a little bit of the training camp. But for now, they're going to be practicing in the morning, I think, this week. And we'll, I guess, adjust as we go. But we'll be out there at practice on Wednesday and bring you all kinds of coverage of that. But we will chat with a couple of the guys tomorrow before things get underway. And again, I had conversations last week with a number of the volleyball players. We'll continue those conversations tomorrow. I think we'll hear from Olivia Malk tomorrow.
Ooh,
yeah,
interesting. I like that. This year I'll be more prepared for training camp because I remember, everything was new for me last year.
Yes,
but
you were day to day,
whether I was mentally okay to withstand the day.
It's like, how you doing today? Good.
I don't know.
Some days you look like deer in the headlight, but
This year we're a lot better now. But I think the attire for training, like I would go out there with, what I'm wearing now, right? Slacks and polo and all black, and it was hot. I remember it's probably one of the first days. It was so hot, and I was wearing all black. I was sweating. I was so dehydrated and hot. My teeth started to tingle a little bit, and I'm like, this isn't good. I was bent over. I'm like, there's no way 3 practices into my tenure that I'm going to collapse and cause a scene.
I forgot you thought you were going to need the
do
medical
that.
staff.
I'll tell this story too. One of the first practices, of course, Troy, he knew who I was. He interviewed me. He walks up to me. He's looking at me and I'm like, does he remember who I am? So he walks up to me and I reintroduce myself and Troy goes, Kyle, I know who you are.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was how it all started.
Yes.
And no, it was good. But I've learned a lot in a year.
Yeah, well, and think now you can even actually talk about volleyball. Like this time a year ago, you were just like,
yeah, well, let's break down the defensive tackles, Jess. Can we do that for 2 hours? And then we'll do the tight ends tomorrow for another 2 hours, which we probably will do still leading up to the season because we still have a month and 2 days. We're still a month out, but once fall camp hits, it means that the season is a month away. Already, colleges that are universities that are starting earlier have already started fall camp for college. So you already see some news and things out from fall camp. But people can say they know what's going on, but we will actually be the ones at practice.
I'll say thanks to you kind of being more up to speed, I feel the most prepared and ready for football season to start than I have been in a while.
Yeah. You're ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
How you feeling? You're feeling good, right?
Feeling good.
Ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right.
I'm excited. I'm, sometimes I dread fall camp a little bit and then it gets long, but I'm ready for it. I'm excited.
It's time for a regimen.
How it all looks out there on Wednesday. So and then by 2 weeks, I'll be ready for game.
Yeah, it's season. Time for the season.
All right, that'll do it for us. We'll talk to you tomorrow night here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Technology isn't just a part of your business, it is your business. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we believe that the right technology tools make all the difference. From seamless phone systems to secure cloud solutions, we empower Nebraska businesses to stay connected, protected, and ahead of the competition. Your technology isn't an afterthought, it's your competitive edge. Let the official business IT partner of the Huskers show you how technology helps drive business success. Technology is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
Right now is the perfect time to upgrade your ride with Woodhouse Nissan, your destination for selection, value, and amazing savings. Receive 0% APR for 60 months on select 2026 Nissan models, like the new Nissan Rogue, or save up to $7,000 off MSRP on these select models. Visit us in Bellevue or Omaha, or browse our offers online today. With approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing.